R Squad, what's up? It's good to be back. What you just saw right there, that was R Squad Live Online. It happened this past Sunday and it was crazy. We had a couple hundred unique viewers that checked out the night. We were at like a steady 65 to 70 viewers the entire time. Thank you guys for showing up, for participating. The chat was going bonkers. Such a cool moment that a year ago today, this exact day that I'm filming this, we did the very first ever R Squad Live in the American Legion building. We set the whole thing up. It was a crazy night. We broke the whole thing down, and who would have thought that God would bless it, that God would use it, and that 1 year later exactly, we would be doing an R Squad Live Online event, an R Squad Live event unlike anything we had ever done before. It's been viewed a couple hundred times already by people, so if you missed it or if you want to go back and check it out, all you got to do is go to our YouTube channel. It is there as a set video. You can go back and watch it as many times as you want. So share the link with somebody, and if you missed out on this one, man, don't miss out on the next one that we do. We may be doing another one of these here pretty soon because the live experience was just incredible. Cannot believe it. We're almost done with the month of May. Like, where in the world has time gone? We're like 2 full months, maybe in a little bit of change, into quarantine, and I think honestly we're all kind of over hearing the word quarantine and coronavirus and just, you know, stay at home and all this other stuff. And I know things are starting to open back up and we're starting to move around a little bit more. Life as normal may seem to be returning for some of you. And so today I'm gonna bring you a little bit of a different style video. We've got 2 weeks left of R Squad in the spring semester, the final 2 weeks of May, and I just wanted to bring you something special tonight. Things that I have personally been learning, and I think that if God's been teaching me these things, these are things that He's desiring me to share and to teach other people as well. Let's get into it. And we're actually gonna read just one verse, one verse today from Acts 4:13. As you can see, I've marked it very so artistically with a crinkled up sticky note in my Bible. Let me bring you some context here. The book of Acts is all about the spread and the growth and really the beginning of the church. In the first couple chapters of Acts, churches are being built, people are being added to the team, the Spirit is moving, Christianity is spreading rapidly, and then all of a sudden we get to like chapter 4, which is where we're going to be in, and now some of the church leaders, particularly Peter and John, are standing on trial before a council. There were still some people who did not want Christianity to spread. They wanted to stop the movement, and so Peter and John are brought before this council, and a guy from the council is literally like, how are you doing this? By what power? By what name are you able to heal people? By what name are you able to so rapidly spread this movement? How is all this happening? Like, what's going on? And so Peter, he's like looking over at John like, yo, you want to tell him or you want me to tell him? Peter's like, look, here's the deal, my man. This is all happening, this is all going down, not because any of us, but because of the name of Jesus Christ. Straight up, no questions about it, that's what's happening. He's like, yeah, that name probably sounds familiar because, oh yeah, you guys killed that guy. And Peter starts preaching in the council. He's like, yeah, you guys killed him, he came back, he's taken over the world, he's got control of everything. Salvation comes through no other person, no other name than the name of Jesus. Peter says that like to everyone there. And this is the verse I want to read right here. Acts 4:13, it says this: the members of the council were amazed when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, for they could see that they were ordinary men with no special training in the scriptures. They also recognized them as men who had been with Jesus. This verse right here has revealed some things to me over the last 2 months that have been really transformational for me personally in my relationship with God, and so I want to share them with you right now. All right, so let's break it down like this. At the beginning of quarantine, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I've got a lot of time. I'm at home a lot, and I need to catch up on some reading. I like to read, okay? I've got books literally everywhere. I've got book there, got a bookshelf right here, got another bookshelf across the way in the other bedroom. I got books in my backpack. I mean, they're all over the place. I got books that I loan out to people all the time, and a lot of my books are missing because I loaned them out to people and I don't know where they are anymore. So if you're watching this and you have one of my books, bring it back, please. So I love to read, and one of the books that I started reading during quarantine is this guy right here, Hearing God It's an awesome book. I'm not done with it yet. Something else that I started to read was, sorry, there it is. This right here, The Last Arrow, Erwin McManus. Now, both of these books are books about God. They're written by pastors about Christianity, developing your faith, you know, all that good stuff. I also, because I had a little bit of time, started doing something else. I joined kind of like an online college, seminary kind of thing, whatever you want to call it, where I was taking online classes, watching videos, taking notes. Guys, I know. You're like, why in the world in quarantine would you start school when you don't have to do school? I am a nerd, okay? And I started taking some classes about developing faith and learning about the Bible and gaining more knowledge. And all this was great. I was reading a lot, I was learning a lot, but let me tell you what happened. I fell into a trap that I've fallen into before. Maybe you've fallen into it. It's a trap that the people that were a part of the council and a lot of the religious leaders of Jesus' day had also fallen into. And it's one that Jesus warns against quite often. And it is the trap of believing that information about God is better than being with God. So I began to study and take notes and become smarter even as I was taking some of these classes and reading some books and like, whoa, that's cool, I'm gaining this knowledge. Wow, that's great. The problem was my knowledge about God was growing up, but my time spent in the presence of God went down. Nothing wrong about getting knowledge about God. I believe we talked about that a little bit a few videos ago. The problem is that knowledge about God alone doesn't transform me. The people who are leading the council here that has Peter and John on trial, they are Sadducees. They were religious people. They knew the Old Testament way better than the average person. In the eyes of people in Jerusalem in that day and age, they were very educated, knowledgeable, smart people. You wouldn't want to have a Bible debate with these guys. But the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection of Jesus, which is what Peter and John were going around preaching. They were really intelligent and knew a lot about God. The problem was that when Jesus was right in front of them walking around on the earth, they couldn't even see who he was. They didn't even believe he was God. They totally missed it. How was it right in front of them and they completely missed it? Could it be that they were so caught up in the knowledge about God that they totally missed being in the presence of God and experiencing the presence of God in human form, Jesus himself, which is the thing that leads to true transformation? We all know someone who's really smart, who has a lot of information and knowledge, who's a jerk. Going back to verse 13 from chapter 4 that we read, this says that the council sees Peter and John and they are uneducated men. They're common men. By the world's standards of success and making it, they don't meet any of the qualifications. But what the people clearly see is that these were men who had been with Jesus. They weren't necessarily impressing everyone with their smooth talking or their crazy debate skills. No, none of that. They were speaking with confidence. They were speaking with boldness, and they were making an incredible impact and leading a movement in the community and throughout the world, not because of their wisdom and information, but because they had been with Jesus. They had been in the presence of God. That had transformed them and spurred them on to do great things. And I felt the Lord wanting to teach me throughout this process that living courageously and boldly doesn't come from more information about God. It actually comes from doing the unseen, uncelebrated daily disciplines that allow me to be in his presence. I find rest in the presence of God, and that is the thing that allows me to live boldly and courageously in the world. Just want to read this verse again one more time, this time from the ESV. Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were uneducated, common men, they were astonished. Why? Because they recognized that these men had been with Jesus. So what's God teaching me? God is teaching me to find balance and rhythm and routine in my life when it comes to learning and gathering more information about God, and also resting and living in his presence, which will allow me to be restored, to be re-energized, to be rejuvenated, to live the bold and courageous life that he's called me to live. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. If you got any questions, any comments, drop those in the comment box below. Make sure to ring the bell and subscribe so you know anytime we go live, anytime we post videos. Here's some other videos that you could watch as well. Make sure to check out R Squad Live online if you haven't yet. We'll see you next time.